What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Well, folks, Voltage Pictures is back at it again with an incredible new look into After We Collided, the long-awaited sequel to After. The creators of the film have been going crazy on social media lately, constantly teasing new content, new still images, and new behind-the-scenes photos. Though today it seems as though we finally got what we have all been waiting for, an official trailer for After We Collided. Fans have been itching to see this trailer since the movie was first announced late last year. Though the unforeseen pandemic that swept across the nation put a serious damper on Voltage Pictures' plans to release the film. We originally hoped to see the film sometime this summer, though this was regrettably not the case. The first film had a massively unexpected turnout at the box office and became one of the best-selling romantic dramas in recent history. Though, since a theater release will almost definitely not be possible for the new film, this could put a serious damper on the new film, limiting its sales numbers and lessening the possibility of a third installment in the franchise. We certainly hope this isn't the case, and that fans will be more than willing to watch the film from the comfort of their own homes, assuming a theater release will be impossible. But enough rambling, let's jump into this new trailer and see what Voltage Pictures and Anna Todd have in store for us this time. The trailer begins a heart-wrenching statement from Hardin saying, "The entire world is a collection of memoranda that she did exist and that I have lost her." This statement is overlaid of an image of Hardin sitting on the docks, gazing into the waters with Tessa at his side. Though Tessa soon fades away and Hardin is left sitting on the docks alone, contemplating his poor decisions. Hardin's monologue continues, "This is our story, Tessa's and mine." We are instantly slapped with the beautiful Voltage Pictures logo as Hardin continues to say, "We are like an addiction to each other, with equal parts pleasure and pain." This statement coincided with various images and videos from the film, including a very dynamic shot of the two of them lying on a bed, with Tessa lying on her stomach and Hardin resting his head on her hindquarters. The camera then skips to a rather hot and heavy clip of Tessa and Hardin in a shower, doing what they do best, ravishing one another. The camera continues to shift various moments throughout their relationship, with alternating shots of Tessa and Hardin taking care of business in the bedroom. Though the scenes come to a halt as we see Tessa crying on the phone with someone and Hardin smashing a lamp into a wall. Tessa then proclaims, "You hurt me and I can't forgive you." Though Hardin responds in the way he always does, "Tessa, I want another chance," phrasing the statement as if it were a question rather than a demand. Hardin appears to be on his knees in this shot, apparently begging Tessa to forgive him and give him another shot at making her happy. Though, if you've seen the first film, you'll know that her trust in Hardin never ends well. The camera then jumps to a shot with Hardin's arms wrapped around Tessa, gently caressing her lower back. His tattoos shine through clearer than ever in this shot, his middle finger proudly displaying a King of Hearts image. Though the accompanying Queen of Hearts logo is obscured by a dark ring. This was likely done to further amplify the divide that is wedged between Tessa and Hardin, even though they both desperately want to make things work. Hardin then tells Tessa, "I'll try, wherever it takes," as Tessa appears to be softening her expression and listening to Hardin more intently than before. Shockingly, we are then given our first glimpse of Hardin's mother speaking with Tessa. The camera pans to Hardin's mother, a beautiful middle-aged woman with a stern expression, yet an almost forgiving attitude. Tessa asks, "Hardin's your son?" His mother replied, "Yes, but he is not without his challenges." She says this with an expression that seems to explain years of hardship in Hardin's past, though we aren't given too much more insight into what these hardships may be. The camera immediately takes us from Hardin's mother and into a scene that seems to show Hardin in the arms of another woman. This woman appears to be up to no good, and certainly doesn't seem to have Hardin's best interest in mind. His facial expressions in the shot seem to tell a long and difficult story of pain and sorrow. Though, as Hardin always does, he seems to be masking his sadness with lust and sexual encounters with various women. This time around, the woman is a brunette with bright pink fingernails and some rather gothic-looking jewelry. She begins to rub Hardin's shoulders, moving up to his neck and then covering his eyes. We can then hear Hardin's mother's words echo in the background. Is he sorry? This scene seems to prove the exact opposite, as the unknown female makes her way around to the front of Hardin, propping herself in his lap. Her eyes glance down to his lips as though she's begging for an invitation from their mouths to meet. Hardin goes in for the kiss, but the scene quickly cuts to a banner proclaiming, "The second chapter of the best-selling worldwide phenomenon continues." We are then taken back to a shot that we got our first glimpse of in the previously released teaser. The shot begins with a black vehicle pulling up in front of a well-kept building. We see Tessa exit the vehicle, then rushing inside the building, apologizing to the individuals she nearly trampled along her way. We then get another look at Dylan Sprouse as Trevor as he enters an elevator, just a short distance away from Tessa. He turns around as the doors begin to close, with Tessa running towards the elevator in the distance. She begins calling for Trevor to hold the door open for her, though it closes before he can do so. She curses at him loudly enough for him to hear her through the door. He then slowly reopens the elevator door, with Tessa appearing visibly embarrassed. The scene then cuts to another moment we saw in the last preview, showing Tessa and Trevor together in an office space. A manager of the space approaches the two and calls out to Tessa, welcoming her to Vance Publishing. Trevor then states his iconic line, "She makes quite the impression." The scene immediately cuts to Tessa wearing a stunningly beautiful gold dress, while coming down a large staircase. The camera cuts over to Trevor, who looks up the stairs towards Tessa, quickly mumbling the word that was on all of our minds, "Wow." The scene then cuts to Trevor and Tessa at what appears to be a rave. She pulls Trevor close, but we can't say for sure what sort of exchange took place between the two. The camera immediately cuts away to a scene that appears to take place after the party. This is yet another scene that was teased a few months ago, in which Hardin appears to be rummaging through Tessa's hotel room after feeling as though she may be up to no good. He kicks in the door to the bathroom, and we see Trevor standing in nothing but his boxers, his clothes in hands, looking embarrassed as ever. The scene cuts again, and we see Trevor and Tessa standing side by side, with Trevor asking, "Hardin Scott? I didn't peg you as the bad boy type." We then see Hardin walking away from the doorway, but turning around long enough to knock someone directly in the nose, sending them to the ground. We can't say for sure what scene this is, but it does a good job of showcasing the deep-seated anger that Hardin so desperately needs to address and work through. The scene cuts back to Trevor and Tessa, with Trevor being rather blunt, with Tessa asking, "Let me ask you this. Are you in love with him?" Tessa then bites her lip and looks relatively confused, unable to immediately answer. The next scene we are shown displays Tessa making her way down a wooden staircase, wearing a stunning red dress. As she nears the bottom of the stairs, she has a smile on her face, though she sees Hardin hugging another woman. Her expression quickly fades. Hardin is seen in the next shot, soaking wet, shouting at Tessa, "You're never going to trust me." Tessa then shouts back, "Trust you? Where's that ever gotten me?" Tessa is then seen in a bubble bath, presumably trying to wash away her worries from a rather turbulent evening. Trevor then takes his problems out with a bottle of alcohol as Tessa narrates, "I thought things were getting better, but I don't know how to fix it." The previously full bottle of alcohol is now seen on the ground, leading to the assumption that Hardin downed the entire bottle in a single evening. Definitely not the best way to deal with your problems. Hardin is then shown with a very regretful expression in a shower alone, letting the water wash over his face, illustrating the worry that is emotionally drowning him. We then cut back to one of the first clips of the movie, with Tessa shouting, "There is no your Tessa anymore," as she takes her luggage and runs down the hallway. The trailer soon winds down with glimpses of various scenes showing Tessa and Hardin madly in love, yet also showcasing the various moments in which they fell apart throughout their relationship. Trevor can be seen in one shot looking longingly at Tessa as if he plans on making a move to take her away from the anguish that Hardin has caused. The final dialogue from the trailer ends with Trevor telling Tessa, "This thing between you and Hardin, it's not going to end well." The trailer ends with an image of Tessa getting into a car accident. It's safe to say, this is the most in-depth look we've ever had from this film. We absolutely cannot wait to see the finished product. We've waited long enough. There is still no official United States or United Kingdom release date yet, but we are certainly holding out for an early September release, which is expected in most other parts of the world. For now, all we can do is wait and hope that Anna Todd will issue an update about the film sooner rather than later.